So on the table in front of me is my very first Ruger, and it is actually the Mini 14 Tactical. I am super pumped about this. I actually spoke about this recently in a video that I was hoping to get this in 2025. And as somebody that likes to take action, I immediately took some action to secure one of these. So shout out to my gun shop that was able to make some magic happen and secure one of these for me. So get a look at this bad boy, move that styrofoam out of the way. First up, we have what you normally see is a bunch of stuff that they throw here. Some booklets on the Mini 14, stickers, coupons, all kinds of stuff in there. Happy birthday, Ruger. I guess it's now, 76 years, 1949 to 2025. So shout out to Ruger. Very first Ruger right here. And this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I know that it's upside down right now, but that's just the way that the box works. Gotta look at this thing for the first time in the shop and had the biggest grin on my face. So over here, they actually have a Picatinny rail attachment, and I believe that the barrel is punched for you to go ahead and mount this Picatinny rail. If you opt to do that, they actually included the metal mounts for an optic. And I can't remember what these are. Maybe they're steel, but it was awesome that they actually included some machine metal parts for this without having to order them separately. I found that anytime they put extra stuff in here, if you will, extra stuff, I am appreciative of that. There's an Allen wrench here, I'm guessing, for being able to attach some of that stuff. There is a lock there, which we don't need, so we'll set that off to the side. There's a couple of these nickel Teflon steel magazines that they included. There's two of them. As you can see, it is the shiny steel. So there's definitely a downside to that, right? That being the fingerprints that are probably pretty noticeable. But these are, I believe, 20 round magazines. So there's two of them. So it's nice that they included that in there. Hopefully they are not as expensive as some of the other metal magazines that I've purchased for other firearms. But let's go ahead and get the Mini 14 out of this styrofoam here. Actually gonna try to close this box up and maybe use the box as a little bit of a background. All right, so here we go. Here is the Mini 14 Tactical. I was under the impression that I needed to get the Mini 14 Rancher and then get the Samson stock, folding stock, to be able to insert it on there. But my guy at the gun shop recognized that they actually sold a tactical version of the Mini 14 with the Samson folding stock straight from the factory. So that's what we ended up doing. And it is honestly a gorgeous firearm. It is gorgeous. It is unlike anything that I have in my collection right now. And that's part of the appeal was just that it's different. And I also, in my opinion, find this to be an iconic firearm as well. Not just because it's been included in movies and TV shows like the A-Team, but also just because it is somewhat based upon the M1 Garand. And I think that's really cool. I really do. So this is a walnut stock. And then all of the other metal, I do believe, is stainless steel, which is pretty nice. The other elements here include the polymer pistol grip down here, and I do believe that this top black plate, if you will, is also polymer. I don't necessarily like that, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. I honestly would have maybe preferred to see maybe a rubber grip, something that, I don't know, that had a little bit more grippiness to it, if you will, versus the straight polymer with this texture. Not bad. I mean, I clearly haven't shot this thing, but I would have preferred something a little more grippy than the straight polymer. But this one is chambered in 5.56, and I chose that specifically. I do believe that the Mini 14 comes in 300 blackout and then a 5.56, and I think that's it. I opted for the 5.56 to have some consistency between this rifle and other rifles that are actually in my possession. Keeps things a little simple for me. So this one actually comes with a threaded barrel up here with a flash suppressor installed, and we can actually run a silencer on this. And in fact, the shop was trying to convince me to order a silencer and get it on there, but maybe we'll do that at some point. It also has the iron sights, of course, which is kind of cool. It comes built in, if you will, with the iron sights. More than likely, I will run it with the iron sights. I don't think that I'm going to add an optic, but as I've pointed out, I have the attachments to add the Picatinny rail, and then also the optics brackets, which again is a nice thing. Another thing that they included here are actually mounts for a sling on the rear and the front. They have the mounts installed, so I thought that was a pretty nice touch. The Samson folding stock, I'm absolutely in love with. Like I'm really in love with this mechanism, and I think that there's like three important parts on this thing. There's the clip that this is going to attach to. There's the hinge here with the button that you depress, and on the back side here there's a little bit of a lever that has to be depressed to collapse this lower part of the stock. So it's similar to like some HK stocks. You kind of press that, you fold it up, and then you depress this lever on the back side here, and it actually clips into that little bolt that I showed on the side there. And now you have a somewhat shorter rifle than you otherwise would have had with the stock fully extended. One of the additional really cool features of this thing is this. It's the mechanism that makes this thing work, which again is I think either partly or all based on the M1 Garand, right? So it's a Garand-style action with a breech bolt locking system, and it's like looking under the hood of an old car, right? And that may sound a little weird, but it's like looking under the hood of an old car in the sense that when you do that, you can actually see everything working, right? You can see that this connects to that and that turns that thing over there, versus looking under the hood of modern cars now where you don't see anything but polymer and plastic. So this is kind of cool that you can actually see the mechanism at work, and I think that that's just a really neat feature of this firearm. So let me grab one of these magazines over here, because it took a little bit of work when I was in the shop trying to figure out how this worked. There's actually a circle here, an opening on the front side of the magazine that it connects up inside of the stock, and once you get that seated, then you can rock it back into place. And now that magazine is fully seated, and of course if there was a round there, we would actually see it. And similar to what you have with some HKs, there's a lever here at the bottom that you depress, and then you can pull that magazine out. Again, just really cool technology, and not new technology, right? I don't think that this was ever used in a war, but it's just the heritage of it is really impressive to me. There's a safety here, kind of like a thumb safety or a finger safety, similar to some of the stuff that my kids use when they're shooting rifles in the backyard. Just a little flick of the finger and you can put that safety on and off. The trigger on this thing feels a little grainy. There's a little bit of travel there. But the wall, I think, is fairly crisp, but it feels a little grainy, a little mechanical. And potentially that will change as I shoot this thing. But again, it's an old system. Who knows? Maybe that's just the way that it is supposed to be. We'll see what that is like over time, and we'll see what the shooting experience is, of course, once I have a chance to get this thing out to the range. But overall, I am super pleased with this rifle. I think that it is just attractive. It is just attractive. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get this thing out to the range and send some rounds down. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned for that video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, this unboxing of the Mini 14 Tactical chambered in 5.56 NATO. Until next time, take care.